McClendon is here. So again, if you're able to mark your hand, you have a question, that's great. If you need to just put it in the chat, we'll be able to go through and get everybody one or two questions. Jalan, appreciate you joining us. And Gene, why don't you go ahead and kick things off for us, please?
Okay, and we're talking with Jalan, correct?
Jalan's on right now. Can you see him?
Okay. I can't see him. I see you.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Well, he can hear me.
Everybody else see Jalan?
Yeah, I can see him.
I can.
Okay. I see you too. So, all right, Gene, refresh your screen or something. Jalan's here, though. Fire away.
Okay. All right. Yep. Okay, Jalan, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good. Now I can see him. Yeah, there he goes. Just a couple quick questions. What did you kind of learn from that last game that you think you can apply for this upcoming game for Dallas?
Ball security is probably the biggest thing. Just gotta hold on to the ball and take care of the ball. But other than that, just making sure we execute on all ends, and really on my part, like I'm a huge critic of myself, so just take care of the ball and just knowing where we need to go with the ball and just progressing through reads and stuff like that.
Yeah. Follow up. Was that the biggest challenge for you personally?
Yeah, personally more than anything. Like obviously, I think if I play better, then like it's a better outcome for the team. I know like it's moving parts all over, but
Yeah.
I hold myself to a high standard. So I think if I play better, then we probably have a better outcome.
Okay. Thanks, Jalan.
All right, we'll slide on down the line. Anthony Miller over at UFL News Hub. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Jalan, appreciate the time. I wanted to chat with you about just kind of ask you about Tate Martin. It seems like you guys are building some good chemistry there for the first couple of weeks. Can you talk about his impact and just the work that you've been doing together?
Yeah, Tate. I said it before the season started, but Tate's gonna be he's a really good receiver. I don't see how he's in this league, but I appreciate it. But he's a really good receiver. And I think he just complements the offense and the wide receiver room really well. Like, I think his like leadership and play style kind of brings everybody else along. And it's a credit to him, but I think it's a credit to Tito, the receiver coach, to kind of getting those guys going. So.
And I wanted to ask you about it looks like you've been using your legs a lot lately and been able to pick up some yards on the ground. How important is that as part of your game to be able to use your legs? And do you prefer to do that, or do you prefer to kind of stay in the pocket and make the throw?
Oh no, I'm a quarterback through and through. I'm trying to chuck the ball, but like I tell people, like I don't consider myself a dual threat quarterback. I'm just capable of it. So like if need be, then I can get a first down. But I'm not trying to be like a running quarterback or anything, or like I'm not Lamar Jackson or anything like that, like as explosive as him. But I'm just good enough to get a first down and get down and stay away from hits. So that's how I look at it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jalan. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We will slide over to James Ernest. I hope I'm saying that right, James, but you are up next, sir. James, are you there? All right, we'll go to the other James Larson. Take it away, please.
This James is here. Jalan, appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on this upcoming matchup against Dallas this week. Obviously, they're a good team. They're 2-0. You guys are 0-2, trying to flip the script here. Early thoughts on what you guys are looking towards with Dallas?
You're right. They're a good team, and I think we're just looking forward to the next game. I don't think it has anything to do with the opponent, but I think how we're feeling, like we got an edge and we got a chip to. Because we know, like more than anything, we know we just leaving plays on the field that we shouldn't be. So I think we're just excited to go out and prove to ourselves more than anybody. Like obviously to the fans and to the league and all of that stuff, but to ourselves that we more than capable of winning ball games. And we got the talent, like we got the people, like coach putting us in the right position stuff. We just got to go out and do our job. Like everybody do their 111 and execute and stuff like that. So I think regardless of who the opponent is, like we do respect them and because of their record and what they're doing. But I think we were taking the accountability of ourselves and just knowing what we're capable of and what we should be doing and ready to go and do that and execute it.
What's been the messaging from Todd Haley to this offense over these last couple of days to try to get things moving in the right direction?
Like there's something he lived by, and there's something we kind of he's been preaching, not all camp, but something that he's learned from like his past experience from his dad, from being with the Steelers, from being with the Chiefs. He says don't panic. I guess it comes from like a Fresh Montana song or something like that. But he says don't panic, and that's what he's been reiterating to us is like don't panic. Like we right there. We a few plays away. So just keep doing what we're doing. Like obviously execute a little bit better here and there, but like don't panic. Don't like it's not the end of the world. You know, like we're only 2 games in, going on to our 3rd game. So don't panic and just go out and play, have fun, do what we're capable of doing.
Thanks, Jalen.
Yeah.
All right. Any follow-up questions for Jalen?
Yep.
Everybody good? All right, short and sweet. Jalen, appreciate the time, brother. We'll check in later
Thank
on.
you. Yeah, sorry for coming on late. I just got out of lift and stuff like that, so my fault, yo.
All good.
Nope,
Got
that's
to
okay.
maintain this body. Big game coming up. All good.
Appreciate you.
All righty. All right, guys. We'll get the meetings wrapped up, so Coach is able to join us now. So we'll get things underway here. Coach, before we get to the questions, just we've had a few days now since the last game. How's practice going? How's the team looking?
Well, we just got to regroup. We was able to go over our corrections, so we can be able to move forward. First day really back where, we are back on schedule. Monday was just more so come on in, run, jump, get that lack of action out of your body and just be able to just run around for a little bit and go over the film and different things on Monday. And then I'm gonna give him Tuesday back off because we've been running for so long. We've been on like a 12-day, 2 games type situation. So trying to get him as much rest as I could. But today we came out pretty fiery. Wasn't just going through the motions. We was really getting something out of the day, and that's all you guys for.
All right, let's head up to the questions. Anthony Miller over at UFL News Hub. Kick it off for us, please.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the time. I wanted to ask you about the Dallas Renegades and what are your initial thoughts on kind of seeing them through the first 2 weeks of the season and prepping for them?
The Dallas Renegades is probably one of our top teams in this league right now. On the offensive side, that connection that quarterback and receiver has is top notch right now. You see, it's hurting every team that's really coming their way. He just threw for some crazy in yardage, breaking records here and there, and they got a real good thing going on. They got a great running back that runs the ball. He's downhill. We got to come downhill and hit him. If not, he bounce off of things and keep his feet rolling. So, and then on that defensive side, they play scrappy. They got 2 great corners between 5 and 6. That's I want to say they didn't average. I want to say about pick a game. If not, I know yesterday being at that game, I watched 6 end the game on the short yardage type play to try to get a first down. They play together as a whole. You credit their head coach. He's been in football for a long time. One of the greatest coaches that been around. So to see how he's really taking that team on and making them be men and coming out and treating them like men, it's going to be a tough week.
What's been your message to the team to kind of keep them focused? I know starting out a little slow at 0-2 and try to keep them focused on picking up that first win.
What I just think is doing all the little things right, and studying, being true with yourself, but got to be vocal, in all type of aspects. And sometimes being vocal is about what you do. You don't always have to say a lot of things to be vocal. It's about what you do and being where your feet at. And I think, we have that culture here. It just, we just been in dog fights where, we're just coming up short. And as these games pile up, as these weeks pile up, it get better and better.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
All right, we will move on down the line. Gene Simmons, sir, go ahead, take it away.
Ready to go? Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
You got you.
Hey, Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm great.
Good. A couple questions. Basically, what did you learn about your team's resilience and execution that you can build on for this game coming against Dallas?
Well, I just think that if we able to get both halves together,
Mm-hmm.
and do great in both halves, you'll see a different type of team. Now, of course, that we have to go back and forth as far as, offense got to be a certain type of way, defense got to be a certain type of way, special teams got to be a certain type of way for us to be a football team. But as you can see, that my team has a lot of fight in them, and once we, get on the right page and do everything the right way, that fight turned into winning and turned into eager and turned into passion. And you can't really see that right now within my guys because we're going to, but it's still here. They're still hungry. They still coming out and trying to put their best foot forward every day, and that's all you ask for.
Yeah. Follow up. What were some of the things that you thought you guys did right against DC?
Well, I would say, man, we came out, we blocked well on the offensive side.
Mm-hmm.
My receivers blocked well in the run game. We caught, majority all our balls that came our way. We had a couple drops. Jalen being able to make plays for us when we didn't have it. Being able to tuck and run, and that's something that's not really in his game. But
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of see the last couple of weeks he's been able to, tuck and get out of different situations where, it can be bad for us. So we see the glimpse and the glamours of what we can be,
Mm-hmm.
and we just got to just go back to the drawing board and, and do the little things, and the little things will always make the bigger picture the picture.
Yeah. And real quick, those guys over there, Tyler Vaughns and Austin Reed, one heck of a combination. You spoke on it a little bit. Uh, this should be a defensive coordinator question, more or less. But what are some of the things that coming in that you got to do to try to just eliminate the big bangs that they've had?
You got to keep everything in front of you.
Yeah.
You got to be able to, drop your nuts and be able to play football. I think that's just really what it is. It's mano versus mano. He's number one is a great runner. He has a lot of slickiness into his routes. He has a lot of things that he don't do that
Mm-hmm.
if you capitalize on him, you might be able to stop him. But I think that they set things up. They take one-on-one matchups. They one-on-one matchups are kind of like down the field, in that 15 to 18 yard line where you usually don't really see it. So I just take the credit from the coach that they understand football and they're using the little things of the game of football to make it big.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
Yep.
Move on over to James Larson at PFN. Go right ahead, James.
Coach, appreciate the time. This league's all about opportunity. We saw a guy like Michael Lawson get a chance with your team here in Columbus. He really balled out at the arena level, comes up here, and now he's playing a pretty crucial role for you guys defensively. Could you just talk about what he brings to the team and what you've seen out of him?
Well, man, like I said, it's an opportunity type place here. Mike Lawson came in and been a pro since he came in his doors. Not a real big standout type guy, very very little, and and I'm not taking that away from him. He came out and once he got his opportunity, he showed the world what he was about. And we hate to see what happened to him as the game went on, but his fire and his tenacity that he brings to us, kept us in that game, as you can see, Friday night. So, it's just really being able to take, your opportunities. And that's what he did. He came in, he's been learning since day one. He's been respectful to coaches, and when he got his number called, he went out and he showcased who he is. I think he had 8 tackles or something like that, an interception, and I want to say a PBU or two PBUs or something like that. I mean, that's a great day, and and he went and he did every special teams that we asked him to do, and I just think that's the type of players that you have in this league.
And then to follow up on that quickly, you released Rock Taylor this week. I was curious if you could give any insight onto what went into that move.
Well, you have to make a couple moves, and you know, it was what the coaches wanted, and that's all I can really say.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
All right. Any follow-ups or Coach Ted?
Well, nope.
Okay. James from Grueling Truth, are you good down there? See, you rejoined us. Do you have a question, or are you just listening in? All good either way. All right. If everybody's good, Coach, we appreciate James, are you in?
Yeah, just listening in.
Okay. All right. All good. Well, appreciate the time from everybody today, Coach. Thanks. And
Brian,
we'll
can I
talk
ask
with y'all
one more
later in the
if we
week.
gotta?
Okay, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Brian, would I have time for one more quick before we?
Coach is still here. Go right ahead, James.
Yeah. Coach, I want to ask about Kiki Chisholm. He's a guy that obviously has been in this league for a while. Haven't seen a ton of production out of him so far. I'm curious if there's anything that you're going to be doing for him kind of moving forward to maybe get him more targets or just get him to a better position to be successful.
Well, if you look at our records, it ain't pretty much we've been doing for nobody. Being 0-2, it's hard to just simple out different things. It's the beginning of the season. I think we all are learning each other as far as coaches and players. We have gave opportunities, which you have seen him come down with some he haven't. But at the end of the day, I think we're just trying to get our first win here, and however that look is how we're going to take it.
All right. Last call for questions now. Everybody good. Going once, going twice. All right. We're good. Coach, thank you very much. Everybody appreciate it. Checking with
Yep.
you all later.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks,
Yep,
Brian.
Thanks.
See you soon.